Hello everybody and welcome to Wesley's Plant World, and today I have a video about a plant I bought while I was out searching the plant centres again because, well, sometimes you just have to have a new plant, right? I actually haven't bought very many plants in a very long time. So I think now and again when I see a plant on an absolutely bargain price, then I can go and buy it, right? It's okay. So I have space for this one plant. This beautiful plant is an Araucaria heterophylla. And I've actually wanted one of these plants for a very long time, but I haven't bought myself one because I didn't think I'd be able to take care of it indoors. From what I know about evergreen plants that are kind of like pines or spruce trees or anything in that kind of category, plants that kind of have needles on them, they have a very hard time in a home if it's not humid enough, if it's too dark and so forth. So I thought this would probably dry out quite quickly, and I know people that have had this plant and they've had a hard time trying to keep it alive after a short amount of time. But I've decided it's such a beautiful plant, so it's worth giving it a go. And when I was out there, I saw this reduced from like 149 Swedish kronor to 59 Swedish kronor, so it was very, very cheap. So I went and looked at all of them, near enough, that were on these two shelves. And this was the absolutely most beautiful one of all of them. And it was the most beautiful to me because every branch has lots of small side branches growing out, whereas many of the plants had a main leader branch and only had maybe 5 side branches growing out. A lot of them were like that. They weren't bushy like this one. This one is really bushy on every single one of its branches. Have a look at it closer. It's just absolutely stunning and beautiful. Look at that, everything. Even the top, look at that top on it, that star. Gorgeous. So you can understand why I wanted to bring this plant home and give it a chance. So I know that this plant needs to be kept somewhere where it gets bright, indirect light for the most part, and never bright burning light or sun on it. It doesn't like that. And of course it won't want to be anywhere where it's too dark either. It needs to be able to dry out between waterings and then water through to keep it moist for a while and then let it dry out for a bit and then water it again. And well, hopefully that will be enough to sustain it. And I hope that it's not going to dry out in the atmosphere indoors here. I am an absolute lover of evergreen plants. I love pines, I love spruces, I love junipers, I love thuyas, I love all these kinds of plants. So that is why I wanted to get this plant, because I want to try having a plant that looks like a spruce indoors. And if this carries on growing out for me wonderfully, then I'll be very happy. Now I'm going to be keeping it in my eastern facing window. Outside of there, we have a ledge that goes out quite far. And then a little bit of direct light comes in during the morning hours, but it's not that strong and it's not that penetrating. And that's fine for this plant. And then the rest of the time, it's bright indirect light. So I know it's going to be very happy there. And if it ever should get too hot or bright one day or so, I'll be able to move my plant down away from the window during those hours. This is just an amazing example, and it's so soft. When I first went to look at them, I was like, oh, are they going to be as spiky as a spruce tree? But they're not. They are a little slight bit, but not very much. You can hold them and stroke them, but they're very nice. They're very soft. So this plant, I will not be repotting it in any way. I'm going to leave it in the soil that it's in for now. And then when I see it's growing out and it's happy, then I will just pot it into a pot the next size up and just put some new soil around the root ball without disturbing it. And hopefully that will keep this plant happy. I have it in a catch pot as well, so that I can water it and make sure that the plant can suck the water up, but it's never going to be sitting in water. I'll be able to tip out any excess or check the bottom to see how it is. And it should be fine. So I just wanted to show off this lovely new plant I have in my collection, and we'll see how this goes. And if you have the opportunity to go out there and find one of these, well, you can try it out yourself if they're as cheap as this one was. A lovely and quite popular plant at the moment. So that was just amazing. So all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching my video. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up. And I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.